जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण। So Rupa Goswami glorified Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Mahavadanya, means the most munificent form of the Supreme Lord. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. So Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, he is Krishna, but he appeared as Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show his mercy upon all the conditioned souls in this material world. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are vividly described in several of his biographies written by several of his devotees. One of the prominent biographies is Chaitanya Charitamrita, written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Even before Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Vrindavan Das Thakur has written a book called Chaitanya Bhagavat that also describes Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur has elaborately described the childhood leelas of Lord Chaitanya, but he did not sufficiently elaborate on the sannyas pastimes of the Lord. So, all the devotees in Vrindavan requested Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to write the later pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Okay. Shruyatam Shruyatam Nityam Giyatam Giyatam Muda Chintyatam Chintyatam Bhaktaha Chaitanya Charitamritam. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that, oh, devotees of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Gauranga, so Shruyatam Shruyatam Nityam, always hear the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Giyatam Giyatam Muda, glorify Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Muda, with great happiness. Chintyatam Chintyatam Bhakta, and always meditate on him. Okay, you hear, you speak, and you meditate. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, all three you do. Chaitanya Charitamritam. So this is how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami urges all the devotees of Lord Gauranga to meditate on the pastimes of the Lord. So the Lord is extremely merciful. So Krishna is merciful. We know that shloka. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jighamsaya payadapya sadhvi lebhe gatim dhatruchitam tatonyam kamvadayalum sharanam rajema. So although Putana came to kill Krishna with her poisonous milk, Krishna is kind enough to give her the position of motherly nurse in the spiritual world. Okay. So, Kamvadayalam Sharanam Rajema. Who else could be more merciful than Krishna? Yes, Krishna is most merciful. But that Krishna, when he appears in the form of a devotee, he is even more merciful. Okay. So, the Lord is merciful, definitely. That's one of his qualities. But devotees are even more merciful than the Lord. And when the Lord appeared in the form of a devotee, he exhibits a maximum amount of mercy on all of us. Aganya dhanya chaitanya gananam prema vanyaya nimye dhanya janaswanta maruhu shasvat arupatam. So, several shlokas in Chaitanya Charitamrita describe how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is extremely merciful. Aganya dhanya chaitanya gananam prema vanyaya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with all his dear associates, they inundated the whole world Prema Vanya, means with the flood of Prema. So the entire universe became flooded with Krishna Prema by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and the Lord did not even discriminate who is qualified and who is not qualified. So he is just distributing Krishna Prema without any discrimination. Indiscriminate distribution of the highest gift available in the entire cosmos. Patra patra vicharanahi nahi sthana sthan yara payatara kare premadan. Patra means qualification. Apatra means disqualification. Who is qualified and who is not qualified? Vicharanahi. Mahaprabhu doesn't discriminate like that. Patra patra vicharanahi nahi sthana sthan. Where to distribute and where not to distribute, that also he doesn't give much importance to. Yeri yaha paya taha kare Krishna premadan. Whomever he sees, he will just distribute Krishna prema to such people. So this is the way Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed Krishna prema. That's why his Mahavadanyaya, Krishna prema pradayate. And not only he personally distributes Krishna prema, he empowers his devotees also to distribute Krishna prema. Empowerment. Saprasidatu Chaitanya devo yasya prasadatah tallila varnane yogyah sadyah syat adhamopyayam. So, saprasidatu Chaitanya. May that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu be very merciful unto all of us. Devo yasya prasadatah. By his prasada, by his mercy, tal leela varnane yogyah. We become qualified to describe his pastimes. Okay. So, it's not our ability by which we are able to describe Krishna's pastimes or Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Tal leela varnane yogyah. That yogyata is bestowed upon us by the Lord. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives us that yogyata, that qualification. By his mercy, we can do something. Sadyah syad adhamopyayam. Even if somebody is adhama, the most fallen person, still one will become qualified by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So the speciality of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, the manifestations of Krishna in this form as Lord Chaitanya, is that he doesn't punish miscreants. He transforms miscreants. Okay. So while Krishna, Ram, Vishnu, Narasimha, they all killed so many demons, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu transformed demoniac people. He purified people from their demoniac tendencies. Okay. So, and he instructed them to chant holy names of Krishna. His constant instruction, whether to renunciants or householders, is one thing. Dhareyara karasada Krishna sankirtan, Krishna nama Krishna katha, Krishna aradhan. So go home. He tells the Navadvip Vasis, Shantipur Vasis, Bengal devotees after Rath Yatra, go home and Sada Krishna Sankirtan. Always absorb yourself in doing Sankirtan of Krishna. Krishna nama, Krishna katha, Krishna aradhan. So perform the chanting of Krishna's names. Discuss Krishna katha and do puja of Krishna, Krishna aradhan. So he not only instructed, Krishna also said in Bhagavad Gita, Satatam kirta yanto mam yatantascha dradham vrataha. Krishna told, you always chant the holy names of Krishna. So Krishna said, Satatam kirta yanto mam. But how to do that? Krishna personally demonstrated it in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? Apani karimo bhakta bhava angikare, apani achari bhakti sikhai musabare. Okay. So I will perform bhakti by accepting the bhava of a bhakta. So Krishna felt that just my teaching of common people to perform bhakti is not sufficient. I should demonstrate how to perform bhakti. I should personally perform bhakti and teach people by my example. Right? Apani karimu bhakta bhava angikare. So he is Bhagavan, but he accepted the bhava of a bhakta. Okay. So Bhagavan is accepting bhakti bhava and doing bhakti to his own self. Okay. Self-glorification. So we cannot say like that. Self-glorification. It's not that he requires a lot of fan following. Okay. He is worshipping his own self. He is chanting his own names. He is relishing his own pastimes. Okay. So how is it? He is becoming his own devotee. So Krishna is not like a self-obsessed person. Okay. Why Krishna comes in the form of his own devotee? The reason is the pleasure available in service to Krishna is not accessible even to Krishna. It is so absolute that even Krishna aspires for it. Okay, person A renders service to person B. Person B is receiving seva and person A is rendering seva. So the person who receives seva is more happy, comfortable. But the person who does seva does a lot of hard work. Right? He has to undergo a lot of difficulty. So here the servant has some hard work to do and the master comfortably receives the service, generally speaking, in this world. Okay. But in the spiritual world, it's opposite. Okay. In devotional circles, it's little opposite. So Radharani and all the gopis of Vrindavan are rendering service to Krishna and Krishna is receiving that service. But the happiness of Radharani and all the gopis is 10 million times greater than Krishna's happiness. Okay. So Krishna is aspiring for that happiness. I want that happiness of my devotees. Okay. So Krishna sometimes becomes very curious and intrigued. What is there in myself? What is there in my personality? What is there in my lotus feet? That my devotees are so attached to it, attached to them. So one day Krishna becomes so curious, he wants to understand the sweetness of his lotus feet. But he could not taste the sweetness because a grown-up man, Aishwara Murti, a youthful person, putting his own feet in his mouth doesn't look good, right? So Krishna took the form of a Vatapatra Shai, small child, infant baby, lying on the banyan leaf. And he has put his toe in his own mouth. Okay. So this is how Krishna tasted the sweetness of his own lotus feet, like the devotees do. Because Krishna is so curious, what is there in my lotus feet that my devotees are relishing? Out of same curiosity, Krishna wanted to understand Radharani's love. Of all the devotees of Krishna, Srimati Radharani is the supreme, isn't it? So Ananta Koti Vishnu Loka Namra Padmajarchite Himadrija Pulo Maja Virinja Javara Pradem. So Ananta Koti Vishnu Loka Namra Padmajarchite. So Srimati Radharani is the shelter of Ananta Koti devotees, unlimited crores of devotees. And Krishna says that right in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakritim Ashritaha. So Mahatmas or devotees are those people who take shelter of Radharani. She is the supreme devotee of Krishna. Okay. Yeah, Bhagavatam says Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho. Okay. So Shiva is the supreme devotee of Krishna. Yeah, that's right. But Shiva is also devotee of Radharani. Right? So Radharani is supreme devotee of Krishna. And Radharani's devotion is glorified by Shiva. The shloka that I just quoted now, Ananta Koti Vishnu Loka Namra Padmadachite, that is spoken by Shiva only. And Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraj, Shiva glorifies the devotion of Radharani. Shiva says that Radharani is the shelter of all devotees. So Radharani is the supreme devotee of Krishna. So Krishna wanted to understand her greatness. Krishna wanted to understand the extent of Srimati Radharani's love for him. How much she loves me. She serves me and she's constantly absorbed in service. She is not at all interested in her own personal enjoyment, but she enjoys more than me. Okay. So Krishna becomes intrigued. He's very curious to know. That's why Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrisho Vanayaiva Saukhyam Yena Bhuta Madhurima Kidrisho Vanadiya. So what is the greatness of Radharani's love? And what is the extent of my own sweetness that Radharani relishes? And when Radharani relishes my sweetness, what is her joy? What is her bliss? I want to experience that. So with these three reasons, our Krishna adopted the mode of Srimati Radharani. And also complexion. Radha Bhavadyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. So he accepted Radha Bhava and Radha Dyuti and became Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. So now in Mahaprabhu, Radharani is there, Krishna is also there. Okay. So Mahaprabhu appeared and he started distributing Krishna Prema. So Now he is distributing Krishna Prema through Krishna Nama. Yesterday also we discussed in another forum. So he is distributing Krishna Prema, the highest blessing, highest benediction possible, through the simplest means possible. Okay, very simple form, simple process of chanting the holy names of Krishna. Because this simple process is so sublime that it gives the supreme happiness to the living being. That's why there are so many glories of holy name, and our interest to chant the holy names of the Lord, our inspiration to chant the holy names of Krishna comes from Krishna in the form of his devotee, right? Unless Mahaprabhu personally comes and chants the holy name and relishes and shows us how to relish, we will not be inspired to take it up. So yes, holy name is Yoga Dharma. So it is Yoga Dharma, and so many scriptures say that, right? Kalauta Dhari Kirtanat, Bhagavatam said that, and Kali Santana Upanishad said that. Then Harer Nama eva kevalam kalau nastiyeva gataranyatha. So many things are there in the scriptures. But unless the Lord personally comes and chants those holy names and teaches us, emphasizing on all these important principles from the scriptures, humanity may not take it seriously. Okay, so Shastra is not sufficient to educate people. It is sufficient, of course, but just making Shastras available may not inspire many people to follow the Shastras. That's why the Lord made Guru and Sadhu also available. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Shastras are there. Everybody may not have the inspiration or bandwidth to read the Shastra and implement the principles of Shastra. That's why the Lord sends sadhus and gurus, and he becomes a sadhu, he becomes a guru and teaches the Shastra, then we will take it seriously. And he personally practices Shastra, not just teaches. He will personally do achar and then he does prachar. Fine. So now he relishes the holy name of the Lord personally, and seeing him and hearing from him, we also chant the holy names of the Lord. Yoga Shrutya Papatti Nirjaravana Dhyanadhasam Bhavita Swarajyam Pratipadya Nirbhayamabhi Mukta Bhavantu Dvijah Asmakam tu Kadamba Kunja Kuhara Pronmela Dindivara Shreyanishyamala Dhama Nama Jushatam Janmastu Lakshavadhi. So, Yoga Shrutyupapatti Nirjaravana Dhyanadhasam Bhavita. There are some people, Dvijas, twice-born people, Brahmanas or Kshatriyas, whoever. So, these people may follow yoga, means Ashtanga yoga, meditation, Dhyana yoga, or Shruti, means they may study Vedas. Yoga Shrutyupapatti Nirjaravana, and they may enter Nirjanavana. Jana means people. Nirjana means no people there. Vana means forest. So they enter solitary forests where there are no human beings, and they perform their yoga and Vedic study. Yoga Shrutyupapatti Nirjanavana Dhyanadhasam Bhavita. Dhyanadha, let them do their solitary meditation in secluded places. No problem. Swarajyam Pratipadya Nirbhayamabhi Mukta Bhavantu Dvijah. Let them become Mukta. No problem. Let them become liberated in this way by doing their dhyana and yoga and shruti. But what about devotees? Asmakam tu kadamba kunja kuhara pronila dindivara. So a devotee wants to absorb oneself in seeing the beautiful form of the Lord and in chanting the holy names of the Lord. Right? Asmakam tu means but. Asmakam, we. What about us? We are not yogis. We are not jnanis. We are not karmis. We are devotees. So asmakam tu kadamba kunja kohara pronila dindivara. So a very beautiful comparison is given. So Krishna's splendid dark complexion is like cloud, and he wears yellow garments. Good contrast, right? So he wears a nice yellow cloth and he has a dark complexion, right? So bluish complexion. So this is like some blue lotuses blooming in a grove where there are so many kadamba trees. So kadamba trees have these yellow flowers, right? Kadamba flowers, yellow flower bearing kadamba trees are there. They are showering the flowers or the pollen, which is very yellow, and that pollen is surrounding the blue lotuses. So blue lotus surrounded by kadamba trees or kadamba flowers is like Krishna wearing yellow cloth. Okay. Shreni Shyamala Dhama Nama Jushatam Janmastu Lakshavadhi. So let me chant the holy names of the Lord who made his appearance in this way. So my absorption is to meditate on the beautiful form of the Lord while chanting his holy name. Janmastu Lakshavadhi. Let me chant for Laksha. Laksha is one lakh. Let me chant the holy names of the Lord for lakhs and lakhs of births. I have no problem. So, devotee doesn't seek liberation. Devotee seeks only opportunities to chant the holy names of the Lord. Okay. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally demonstrated this to all of us, and he personally chanted the holy names, rejecting liberation. So, mercy is not just relieving people from material miseries. Yes, that also he does sometimes. Satatam janata bhavata paharam paramartha parayana lokagatim. So, he is constantly engaged in removing the sufferings of common people. And bhavata paharam. The threefold miseries of Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika kleshas are removed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grace, right? So, but not just removing material miseries, he should give spiritual pleasure. And that's what he does. And he gives the supreme spiritual pleasure of Krishna Prema through Krishna Nama. So, through Krishna Nama, when we say like that, chanting the holy names of the Lord is not just the means, it is the goal also. In our practice days, we are chanting the holy names. What does that mean? In our perfection state, we will not chant. We should chant. We will chant, of course. Not that we should chant. We will spontaneously be attracted to the holy names of the Lord, and we will naturally chant the holy names of the Lord without any doubt. With a pure heart, we will be always looking forward for doing that. Okay. So, Vishnurnamaiva pumsaha shamalamapharat punyamutpadayaccha brahmadisthana bhogat viratimatha guroha shripadadvanva bhaktim tattvajnanam cha vishnur ihamritijarana bhranti bijam cha dagdhvam sampurnananda bodhe Mahati cha purusham sthapayitva nivrittam. So, in this shloka, which is from Padyavali, again the holy name of Krishna or Vishnu is glorified. So, Vishnur namaiva pumsaha shamalamapaharat punyamutpadayaccha. So, by chanting the holy names of Krishna, shamalam apaharat, all our sins and contamination is removed. Punyamutpadayaccha, one will be established in great piety. And this piety is not some material piety that takes us to Svargaloka. This is spiritual piety. Okay, that pleases Krishna. Brahmadisthana bhogat viratimatha guroha shripadadvanva bhaktim. So, when one gets absorbed in chanting the holy name of Krishna, then one becomes detached, one becomes disinterested or disinclined to occupy even the post of Brahma also. What will I do with Brahma's post? I don't want that Brahma's post. Not that he's demeaning Brahma or disrespecting Brahma, but he's not interested. He's disinterested in that opulence or the prestigious position of being the creator of this universe. Right? So, let me surrender to Guru. Guruaha Shri Padadvandva Bhaktim. By chanting the holy names of Krishna, our Guru Bhakti also will increase. Interesting shloka. Okay. So, Guru Athaguroha Shripadadvandva Bhaktim. So the lotus feet of spiritual master become our shelter, right? So Tattvajnanam cha Vishnor, and we will also understand Vishnu's Tattva. Okay, the truth, the transcendental knowledge about Krishna will attain. Ihamriti Jana Bhranti Bijam cha Dadha. Janana Mriti Bhranti Bijam cha Dadha. So the seed of repeated birth and death is planted in the mind of conditioned soul. In the sense that the conditioned soul holds a lot of material desires. Those material desires are the seeds for repeated birth and death. Dagdha. So the seeds are burned to ashes by chanting the holy names of Krishna. Dagdha. So if you burn a seed or fry a seed, or roast a seed and plant it, a plant will come? Definitely not, right? The seed has to be potent. When the potency is removed by frying it or roasting it or boiling it or burning it completely, then the plant will not come. Similarly, chanting the holy names of the Lord will burn our material desires, which are seeds for repeated birth and death. So let's chant the holy names of the Lord. Sampurnananda bodhe mahati cha purusham sthapayitva nivrittam. So Sampurna Ananda Bodhi, chanting the holy names of Krishna will lead us to complete happiness of heart. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and induces us, inspires us to chant the holy names of Krishna by personally relishing. So Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanyam Krishna Bhavamritam Hiyaha Asvadayan Bhaktan Prema Diksham Asikshayan. So Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanyam. Let us offer obeisance to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Bhavamritam Hiyaha is absorbed in Krishna Bhava, means emotions, consciousness basically. Nectarian Krishna consciousness is his constant absorption. Asvadayan Bhaktan. He is personally doing asvadana. Asvadana means relishing. So asvadyan. Asvadya means relishing. Asvadayan means making others relish. Okay. So he is relishing and he is making others relish. Prema diksham asikshayat. And he is teaching us how to love Krishna. Okay. So not only that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only mercifully has given us Krishna Prema and Krishna Nama, he has also given us Krishna Dhama. What is Krishna Dhama? Nama, Prema, Dhama. Okay, it's rhyming also. I just discovered it. So Dham is the eternal abode of Krishna. So Krishna performed so many pastimes, but the pastime places are lost to the vision of these people. Okay, to the vision of common people. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan Dham and he started discovering all the places that Krishna has utilized to perform his loving pastimes. Okay, so he found Radhakund, he found Shyamakund, and later he also had sent his dear associates Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami also to go to Vrindavan and excavate lost holy places and establish worship of Radha and Krishna. Vrindavaniyam rasakeli vartam kalena luptam nijashakti muktah sancharya rupe vyatanot punassa prabhurvidhau prag iva loka srishtim Vrindavaniyam rasakeli vartam. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revived the pastimes of Vrindavan. Because the Rasakeli Vartam, the pastimes of Vrindavan and all the rasas, the knowledge of rasas, Kalena Luptam, it just got faded. By the passage of time, they became inaccessible. People don't know the pastimes of the Lord. People cannot recognize the pastime places of the Lord. So, Sancharya Rupe Vyatanot Punahasaha. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the knowledge of all these pastimes to Rupa Goswami and also Sanatana Goswami, and he enabled them. He personally did something and he also enabled his devotees to excavate holy places. As like Krishna comes To do what? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yugi yugi. You know this, right? So, paritranaya sadhunam. So, Krishna comes to protect his devotees. Krishna comes to punish the materialistic people or miscreants, and Krishna establishes dharma. So, he does it personally. And sometimes he also engages his devotees like Pandavas to do these three things. Krishna did not fight in Kurukshetra war, he was just a driver of Arjuna's chariot. So he made Arjuna do, he made Bhima do, Paritranaya sadhanam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya. Okay. So the Lord personally fulfills his mission, and the Lord also empowers his devotees to assist him in his mission. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally excavated some holy places in Vrindavan, and he enabled Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami also to excavate holy places in Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally chanted the holy names of the Lord and relished, and he made Namacharya Haridas Thakur also to relish them and preach the holy names. He is Yoga Avatar, but who is Namacharya? So Mahaprabhu is Yoga Avatar who came to spread Harinam Sankirtan. But he did not become Namacharya. He made Rupa Goswami, he made Haridas Thakur to become Namacharya. Okay. Mahaprabhu came to teach us Krishna Bhakti and Vraja Bhakti and all rasas, Unnata Ujjvala Rasam Bhakti Shriyam, but he made Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to write books on these rasas. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Upadeshamrita, who wrote all that? Rupa Goswami wrote. Okay, Mahaprabhu just inspired them. So he personally does things and he also enables his devotees to do things. Kalena Vrindavana Kelivartam Lupteti tam khyapaitum visishyam Kripamritena visishesha deva tatraiva rupam cha sanatanam cha. Kripamritena abhishechena deva. So Kripa Amrita, the nectarian mercy, is the liquid here. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did abhishek of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami with the nectar of his mercy. So God Prema is coming. We will perform abhishek of Gauranga deities. We put Panchamrit, right? We put cow milk and curd and honey, sugar water. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is personally bathing Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami with the nectar, not Panchamrit. This is Kripamrit. Kripamritena abhishishecha devaha tatraiva rupam cha sanatanam cha. And by receiving that mercy from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa and Sanatan went to Vrindavan. Kalena Vrindavana Kelivarta, and they revived all the lost holy places of Vrindavan and also wrote a lot of literature to educate us on Krishna Bhakti and Vraja Bhakti, all that. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed or distributed Krishna Prema, Krishna Nama, and established Krishna Dhama, and also Krishna Leela, Radha Krishna Leelas. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to Ramanandarai in the South India, and he tells Ramanandarai to speak the pastimes of Radha Krishna. You please speak Radha Krishna Tattva, Radha Krishna Swarupa. So then Ramanandarai starts speaking. He speaks, he's like a cloud. The sloka comes. He says that Sancharya Rama Bhida Bhakta Meghe Swabhakti Siddhanta Chayamritani Gaurabhireter Amunavatirnaha. So in the shloka, it is described that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like an ocean of all conclusive truths of devotional service. Okay. And Ramananda is like a cloud who accepts water from the ocean. Right? Clouds takes water from the ocean, right? And when the cloud rains, the water will come back. The rain will come back on the ocean. So Ramananda, like a cloud, is extracting all devotional conclusions and Radha Swarupa, knowledge about Radha Swarupa, Krishna Swarupa from Mahaprabhu, and he is speaking them back to Mahaprabhu only. You know that popular conversation that happened between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Rai. on the banks of Godavari. So, in this way, through Ramananda Rai, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revived Radha Krishna Tattva and Radha Krishna Leela. Okay, and glorified Radharani and her love for Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance is a great testimony for Radharani's love. Okay. So although Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yathamam prapadyante tamstathaiva bhajamyaham. So the way you approach me, in a similar way, I will reciprocate with your devotion, with your love, with your service. But Krishna could not keep his promise in the case of the gopis of Vrindavan. So Krishna could not keep his promise. He said that Naparayeham Niravadya Samvujam. Oh gopis, you people have rendered so much service to me, and it's beyond my capacity to reciprocate with your devotion. I won't be able to reciprocate with your devotion. Even if you give me one full lifetime of Brahma, Vibudha Yushapivaha, still I cannot repay the debt I owe you. Okay, generally when you borrow some money from someone, you set a tenure. In 1 year you repay it, in 2 years you repay it, in 5 years you repay it, easy monthly installments. Okay, but that is not the case with Krishna in repaying his debt to the gopis who did selfless service. You know what he told the gopis? He said, please be satisfied with your own loving service. I cannot give any reward for your service. I don't have anything beyond this happiness. So what does that mean? If you render selfless service to Krishna, that selfless service completely satisfies the self. We don't need anything beyond that satisfaction. And even Krishna doesn't have anything beyond that satisfaction to give us. So the satisfaction that we derive by selflessly serving Krishna is the topmost benediction available in the entire creation. Even Krishna doesn't have anything beyond this. You already have the satisfaction of serving me. What else you want? You want Swarajyam? You want the position of Brahma? You want the position of Indra? You want any position in all 14 planetary systems? Okay. No position, no possession, position or possession in the entire creation doesn't please a devotee, doesn't satisfy a devotee. The only satisfaction that a pure soul can derive is in one's selfless service to Krishna. So satisfaction is in selflessness, not in selfishness. So Krishna said, gopis, you did selfless service to me. We have given up everything. Patisutanvayad bhratrubandhavat ati vilanghate nyachyutagata gativirastavo gita mohita kitavayoshitaha kastyajenishi. So all the gopis of Vrindavan have given up their pati, sutta, bharatru, bandhava and all these relatives, sons, husbands, friends, social customs, Vedic regulations, family ties. They gave up everything and came to serve Krishna. So in comparison to your sacrifice, I cannot give you anything. You be satisfied. Okay. So after that, Krishna thought, I could not do anything. At least let me sufficiently glorify them. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, means Lord Krishna's appearance as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is a testimony to the glory of Radha's love, to the glory of Gopi's love for Krishna. Krishna thought, I cannot acknowledge them more than this. I am hankering for their mood. What else could be a better acknowledgement to their love, to their selfless service? I am hankering for their mood. I want to be like them. I want to be in their position. I want to give up my position and accept Radharani's position. Right? I want to give up my color. I want to give up my position as creator, maintainer, destroyer, etc., etc. I just want to become a devotee of Krishna. So that the bhakta bhava, the emotion of being a devotee of Krishna, is the topmost emotion available And even Krishna aspires for such an emotion. So in front of this emotion, no other emotion of some designation will not satisfy the soul, right? So where is this? There is one shloka. The shloka says, Krishna bhakta abhimanayyananda sindhu koti brahma sukhanahe tara eka bindu. This is the shloka. Krishna dasa abhimanayyi ananda sindhu. The abhiman or the identity of being a servant of Krishna, the emotion of being a servant of Krishna is the topmost emotion. Krishna dasa abhimanayyi ananda sindhu koti brahma sukhanahe tara eka bindu. In comparison to this happiness, even Brahmananda multiplied with billions, billion times also is inferior, right? So one drop of the happiness of being a servant of Krishna is superior to millions of oceans of Brahma happiness, Brahmananda happiness. Okay, so even Krishna wants to become a devotee of Krishna. And that's the whole background of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So he wanted to acknowledge the love of his devotees, the gopis of Vrindavan. And in this way, he wanted to acknowledge the greatness of the whole process of devotional service. So he descended to give us, to inspire us to perform Krishna Bhakti in the mode of Rajavasis, means Vraja Bhakti. And especially the gopis, okay, and he is giving us the highest benediction of Krishna Prema through Krishna Nama, and out of his mercy he also revealed Krishna Dhama, and also he enabled his devotees to write a lot of devotional literature to educate all of us, okay. And he also revealed the most confidential, loving affair that a living being could have with Krishna. That is Radha Krishna Leela, conjugal Leela. So, we are all dependent on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So the whole process of Bhakti Yoga will become very easy if we depend on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. But the same process of Bhakti Yoga becomes difficult by not depending on Krishna's mercy or Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So on our own, we won't be able to perform Bhakti. But if we take shelter of the Lord, and if we depend on Krishna's mercy and pray for Krishna's mercy and Mahaprabhu's mercy, then even the most difficult aspect of our spiritual life also becomes easy. We can effortlessly perform our spiritual activities by depending on the Lord. Kathanchana smrte yasmin dushkaram sukaram bhavet vismrte viparitam syat Sri Chaitanyam namamitam. So Kathanchana smrte yasmin, if you just remember Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, dushkaram sukaram bhavet, the most difficult task will become very easy. The most difficult task for a sadhaka is to concentrate on the holy name of the Lord. Okay. So while chanting, the mind goes all over the world, all over the cosmos. I don't know if it happens to you, but it happens to me almost every single day, in every single round. Okay. So, but if we pray to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then the dushkaram will become sukaram bhavet. Vismrte viparitam syat. If we forget Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it becomes easiest things also become very difficult. Okay, so there are so many such beautiful statements in Chaitanya Charitamrita that reveal Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's merciful nature. So in this last 1 hour or so, 45 minutes, we discussed few glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you very much. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaur Purnima Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Hare Krishna.